Hi, fourth graders. Welcome to your grammar and phonics lesson for Tuesday. You should be beginning class with me at 11:05, and our class will be over at 12:30. Okay, let's get started. So today's materials, you need to make sure that you have your pencil, a writing notebook, and your grammar and phonics workbook. We are going to do a grammar warm-up today. That's why it's so important to have your workbook. We're going to talk about plural nouns, how to use commas, and go over some phonics and spelling, which we began yesterday. Then we'll practice in our workbook and check together, and I'll go over what I'd like you to do during your assignment period where you will work until 12:30. Now, of course, if you finish your assignments early, then you're free, but I want you to do your best and don't rush your work. Okay, so for our warm up today, I want you to open to grammar page 31. This is information you learned last year, so do your best, try by yourself, and then come back here to check. Okay, I hope you're ready to check your work. Now, I know the instructions said to circle, but sometimes I find that my handwriting gets really messy when I circle, so I kind of prefer to highlight. If you like highlighting, you can do that too. Now, the instructions said to highlight all the nouns in the sentence, circle, but only write the plural noun on the line provided. So, you can check and see if your highlighted words are the same as mine, but the most important one should be the plural noun that you wrote on the line. So, check your work carefully, pause your video now, and make sure that you correctly identified the plural noun. Pause your video and check. Okay, now that we've done our warm up, today we're going to be talking about plural nouns. I'm going to remind you of some rules for how to change a singular noun into a plural noun. The first one, the most easy, is you just add S, like crayon to crayons. We see it here in our warm up: pencils, trains, computers, treats, weeks, pillows. Pretty much all of these have the plural noun where they just add S to the end. Okay? Now it gets a little bit harder when you have something that ends with a CH or SH. You can't just add S. You need to add ES, like branch and brush. So make sure if your noun ends with a CH or SH, you need to add ES to spell it correctly. Especially if you have a noun that ends with an X or an SS, you also need to add ES to the end to make sure that it is spelled correctly. If the noun ends in Y with a consonant before the Y, now remember, a vowel is A, E, I, O, U. A consonant is everything else: X, Y, T, W, B, all those are consonants. So if it's consonant Y, then you take away the Y and you add IES. So let's look at the word baby. B is a consonant and it's followed by a Y. So you take away the Y and add IES. Okay, now these rules should sound familiar because we did go over them last year. Why don't you take some time and practice, do your best, and then come back here to check. Okay, are you ready to check your answer? Bear, you should change to bears, only adding S. But bush ends in SH, so hopefully you remember to add ES. The same thing with match. It ends in a CH, so you add ES for matches. Phone, add an S. Countries ends in consonant Y, RY, so you drop that Y and add IES to make it countries. You should have capitalized airplanes because it's the first word of a sentence, only adding S. Boxes and dresses and quizzes, you add ES. Now, I put stars next to number 9 because there are some times when a word ends in Z, you double the Z and then add ES. Finally, copy ends in consonant Y. P is a consonant followed by Y, so you drop that Y and add IES. If you need more time, please pause your video now. Okay, let's talk a little bit about commas in a series. So first, if 3 or more items are listed, use commas to separate them. So let me show you an example sentence. I like to eat ice cream, hamburgers, pizza, and fried chicken. Sometimes when you write, you might be tempted to say and. Don't do that. When you're listing things, you don't need to write and, just use a comma. You wouldn't say, I like to eat ice cream and hamburgers and pizza and fried chicken. Take away those ands and put a comma. Now, if only 2 items are listed in a sentence, do not use a comma to separate them. For instance, I should eat vegetables and fruit. So I like to eat ice cream, hamburgers, pizza, and fried chicken. I should eat vegetables and fruit. There's only 2 items, 2 nouns, vegetables and fruit, so there's no comma necessary. Okay, now that we've talked about commas, please go to page 33. I want you to do this now to the best of your ability, and then we are going to come back here and check together. Okay, let's check our work. Number 1, the students with the highest scores were Anna, Sarah, and Jonathan. Anna, Sarah, and Jonathan are more than 2, so we need to put commas after each one and then a period at the end. Number 2, there is no mistake. It only says milk and eggs, so it's a good sentence. Number 3, hat, gloves, and a scarf. That's 3 things, so we need to add the commas and rewrite the sentence. The same thing with number 4. They list tennis, baseball, and field hockey. You need to put commas after each one. The horse trotted and cantered happily around the paddock. There's nothing wrong with that sentence. Finally, my bedroom is dirty, messy, and uncomfortable. There should be commas after those. So pause your video, check your work, make sure your handwriting is good, please. Okay, now finally, let's talk a little bit about phonics. Yesterday, we began our phonics lesson where we practiced sorting our spelling words into different categories, either PH or CH or TCH. But today, we're going to talk about what that means. So a digraph is a combination of 2 letters representing one sound. That means when you say these 2 letters, it makes one sound. Ch, sh. So you don't say k, h, like C and H. You just say ch. And for S and H, sh. Okay? So let's go to phonics. Oh, I didn't tell you the page number. My goodness. Please go to phonics page 40. And we're going to do this part together. So don't pause your video. Let's do this together. If you really want to try and do it by yourself, you can. But I'd like for us to make sure and do this together so that the next part you can do by yourself. So let's read the instructions on phonics page 40. Write the spelling word that means the same as the word below. Carry, drew, complain, pick, cook. So we need to choose words in our word bank that mean the same. Carry, can you find the word that most closely means carry? If you chose bring, you are correct. Now remember, you can just do this with me. You don't have to do it first by yourself. Which spelling word best matches drew? Sketched. When you draw a picture, it's like you're sketching. Complain, I'm not sure if you guys know this one. Whine. So whenever you go, oh, I don't want to, that's called whining. Number 4, pick. The spelling words that best matches pick, choose. I pick my favorite pencil. I choose my favorite pencil. Finally, cook is most similar to chef. So go ahead and cross off those words now. I've got you started. I want you to try and do 6 through 20 by yourself. If you have trouble, you can push play on your video and we'll do them together. If you want to try them and do them all by yourself, then go ahead and start now. Okay, if you're here, it means you want to do it together or you did it by yourself and you're here to check. Number 1. Nope. Number 6. I took a blank and raised my hand to answer the question. Chance. Number 6 is chance. 7, stretching. 8, touch. Can you touch your toes? Number 9, northern. 10, whirl. This one's a little bit hard to say. Can you repeat after me? Whirl. Whirl. That's a weird one. It means to spin around quickly. Number 11, pitcher. Now, this word can have 2 meanings. A pitcher is like someone in a baseball game or a softball game, which is what this sentence says. But a pitcher can also mean a big jar that has a place where you can pour out water. Pitcher. Number 12, kitchen. Number 13, Fifth. Can you repeat that? Fifth. Number 14, ketchup. 15, graph. 16, snatch. Now, snatch is always impolite or rude. If I hand you something, you should never snatch it. Can you show me snatching? Go, snatch. It means you take something quickly and not very politely. Number 17, 30. 18, rush. I say this all the time. Do not rush through your work, please. Number 19, photo. And number 20, width. That's how wide the room is. How wide something is the width. If you need a little bit more time, pause your video and make sure you know the meaning of all your spelling words for this week. Okay, we have gone all the way through our lesson. I know it was a lot of work, it was a lot of writing, but thank you for following along. What I would like for you to do now on your own is to complete grammar page 34 and 35. Now, let's go over the instructions for these pages so that you guys know what to do. So starting on page 34, at the top of the page, you can see that it is reminding you of what we've already learned for this lesson. It's talking about singular and plural nouns and how to change them. Make sure you read the top of your paper. It's really good information and it's very helpful. Now, the instructions say write again, the paragraphs below, correcting mistakes in plural nouns and punctuating items in a series. So now you are using plural nouns and commas together. So you're going to read this short paragraph right here and look for mistakes to fix. So you only have 2 of those to do. Then on page 35, there are 2 parts. Touch A to make sure that you understand the instructions. Read each sentence. Circle the singular noun, underline the plural noun. Now, if you would like to use highlighters, that's fine. Just use 2 different color highlighters and make sure that you show me singular noun is one color and plural noun is a different color. Okay, B. Circle the letter of the sentence that is written correctly. So all of these sentences are incorrect, but one of them is correct. So look for commas and look for the correct spelling of plural nouns. Okay, I would like for you to work on this until the end of class. When you are finished, you have free time. Okay, guys, thank you so much for doing your best. I know online classes are really difficult and they're not as much fun as coming to school, but let's be patient and let's make sure and obey our parents, be kind, and do your best. I love you guys, and I will see you for our Zoom class later this week. Bye.